BTK, can BTK turn this around with a reverse sweep, or will they be stopped here?
And you know, Trex, after seeing game one, I'm really hoping BTK can take this match so we can get that game three, because these teams played at an exceptionally high level last match. Obviously, Ohio able to edge out in the long run and take game one. But if we can get that 2 more games, Trex, I can't complain.
I mean, of course, game 3 right here would be epic. No matter who it goes to, as long as it goes to game 3, I walk away from this series very, very, very happy. Now, keep your eyes on Shark here. He's hanging out with Basic up in the top side. One of those hooks land on a bad spot, it's just instant KO, instant fatality. And we just know that threat is there. The Franco's really been showing his face globally a lot more lately.
Absolutely. We're going to have to see who can open up this gold lane a lot more, because I feel like that really changed the pace last match. Even when Ohio was behind a little bit, they were able to get Basic moving on that map after they took that tower first and get him to focus on the other towers, even when those neutrals are being contested by the side of BTK. If they can get him moving again, get him grooving, that's going to be great. But if BTK can push back against that, that would be extremely lovely to be able to get ISO in a nice position to take off, because we do know if he can get a little bit of a head, especially with Beatrix, that tower spike come in nice and early, especially after he picks up that Blade of Despair. If he can get rotating, joining in these team fights early, that could put them in a great position up against Ohio.
Most definitely could. T's doing a great job in that bot lane. I feel like he's really stepped up his game just as an EXP laner overall. Even, I mean, I'm not saying the matchup is great for Yureshi, but just the fact that he's really holding his own, sometimes having the advantage, shows a lot how he's been doing. The Ohio Brothers, though, keeping it simple, right? They're not looking for any picks here. They like to kind of wait, especially against a team that they know there's possible threats, against a team like BTK that always has a pretty strong early phase sometimes. The Ohio Brothers are just going to chill. They're going to wait for their time to shine. They don't even need this first objective, but they are going to try to contest it possibly. Best player, Hoon and Yureshi, taking the sides of this wall. Best player looking for a time to come in. Joybosh does not have that all yet. And best player able to take the first one. Yureshi in a bad spot, though. Very low. Colt Altar comes out, but he wasn't able to catch it. Forced to use the flicker. ISO getting picked off up in the top side, though. This is what I meant. Shark and Basic could end up being a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been getting on that a little bit. It seems like Ohio really is just going to stay focused on committing to that gold lane, because, again, if they can get Basic moving, the macro comes into play. Now they can start having diversions, distractions, or maybe if it goes unanswered, complete clashes. But hey,
nice flick, nice wall. Basic forced to use the flicker, though. Able to still get away. Could have been the perfect response to that earlier death on ISO.
He didn't find a kill there, but I tell you what, if Joybosh keeps playing like that with those flicker wild charge sets, Ohio's going to have to keep their eye on him, or they're going to be in a world of trouble when these team fights break up, because that was such a crazy set from him. That would definitely be disastrous when you're talking about late game on one of those lords. But speaking of late games, in this early right now, a lot of scuffle going on in between the junglers and the bot side. We're going to go ahead and disengage there, but let's talk about it, right? Ohio has already secured that 1K lead so far. They were able to secure that first neutral, but a kill may be secured.
Ooh, there's a kill, all right. Zane gonna find Yureshi. T doing most of the damage, though. Able to get that electrifying beats. One thing I will say, Zane and Best Player on this tanks a lot, doing so well. You think he's caught, and he's just always able to get away. He gets in the midst of trouble, and he's just a slippery guy, man. You're not able to catch him.
Definitely not able to catch him. But speaking of things catching, we did just see that corrosion side being locked in by Basic already as we're about to cross into that 4-minute mark of the game. So a nice core item lock in from him. But speaking of lock in, teams engaging.
Ooh, Shark taking a lot of damage, forced to use a flicker. Best player comes in, tries to lock on Yato here. Yato getting hooked in. This is dangerous, and it's bad. Hoon gonna find that kill.
Shark, such a threat. What an iron hook. What a bloody hunt to go ahead and lock down the mid laner for the side of BTK, putting Yato in an uncomfortable spot. And I tell you what, Trex, if they keep the pressure on him, that's going to be very disastrous for the side of BTK. Yato is going to be very critical to their team fight capabilities, as he's really the only controlling aspect in this game as best player kicking up that turtle.
I mean, it's already almost it's 2K gold lead, little over 2K gold lead for the side of the Ohio Brothers, right? And they still have Basic, who hasn't taken a death yet. They have the constant threat of the hooks. They have Yureshi, who isn't having the greatest early game, but he's doing just fine. Taking a look at Bloodthirsty Kings. Yato, Isso, some of the major players who need to be able to output damage have already taken death. It's not like it's Joybaj, it's not like it's Zane, it's not like it's T. Some of these pivotal players in the mid and late game are already a little behind.
That's right, but were you seeing what Basic was doing there? They were trying to keep that lane froze on Iso. They're trying to force him to step out to potentially get hooked by Shark here. And now it kind of makes sense what's been going on in that gold lane. But speaking of what's going on, best player, we force back a bit. They're not going to get into a fight, but now look at you, Reshi, knowing that Joy or T is missing from the lane. He's going to go ahead and cut out. That's a great play from him. Hang on. Joy.
Damage. Hoon going to come in with the Ghostbusters, finding Joybaj. He's got to be careful face checking, man, because you're going to walk right into a bloody hunt. And that's the thing about going against Franco when you're the enemy roam. You can't get too crazy. If you walk into the wrong bush, you're going down.
Absolutely going down. Speaking of things going down right now, we're seeing that gold lane prio coming in heavy for Ohio. And I have to tell you, in the early phase I was talking about, the power spike for Beatrix would have been a lot stronger than Carry. But since he's been frozen, since he's been ganked, since they've been finding kills, been in a lot of trouble. But Joybaj
in a lot of trouble. Best player looking to get the finish, is able to find it. Colt Alter comes in the nick of time. Best player will get stunned up. Electrifying Beats not able to finish it. Could not connect. TOB get away scratchless.
Get away scratchless. Ice Queen Wand falling through the hands of Yato, though, so some good utility. But speaking of things also falling, top tower into the hands of Basic now.
Oh, no. Not like this, guys. Shark being ever so aggressive. Turtle back up on the map. This is looking bad for the side of BTK.
It's looking very bad for the side of BTK. Basic has found one tower, found another kill, and now looking for a tier 2. But Turtle happening with a fight on the top side.
Yeah, big fight on the top side. Not able to see it because Turtle is going down. Roses come out. T finds Basic, luckily, in the top side. Best player still secures the Turtle. Phantom Execution comes in. Joybaj very low. Will get taken out from Hoon. The Appraiser's Wrath drops the damage. Just not there. Snipe shot. Big miss. Big whip. Zane in the midst of 3. Still fighting it out, but just not enough. Forced to try to run away here. You're actually looking for the stun. Not able to connect. Nabir's Passion comes out. Ohio Brothers don't find Zane, but they find a lot in return.
Definitely finding a lot. Up 3K Trex as we're crossing over that 7-minute mark. 6-2 as far as kills. Not only are they leading in this game, but they're leading in this series 1-0. BTK gonna have to find a way to dig deep and fight back. They might find an early exit in this series up against Ohio Brothers. They have been forcing so many airs from the side of BTK. The pressure from Shark in that lane has been consistent from game 1. Putting ISO on an uncomfortable spot, and I really feel like BTK should have gave a little bit more assistance to ISO. Speaking of pressure.
Look at T. He's going to get pulled in. Bloody Hunt, another great pick to the side of the Ohio Brothers. Add that with a pick onto this tower. They're taking more ground. They're taking more things on the map. Players, towers, nobody's safe from the brothers right now.
And there's no way Yato can really defend this. They're going to pop that high ground tower, pass them there, to be able to clear it out nice and early over the 8-minute mark. And I was going to look for more. Speaking of look for more.
You know, here's the thing. If Yato's alone defending, he's scared to bring up, he's got to be scared to bring up that railroad manipulation because the hook.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even when he's solo like that, he's like, man, I really can't do anything about this because I'm by myself. And if I pop my railroad manipulation, I'm getting pulled in once again. I'm going down.
Definitely are going down. Speaking of things going down, best player out some space over at BTK to be able to try to maybe pick up this tower. They are so heavily focused on these objectives. While they do have quite a bit of kills, just look at the lead. They're already 3-1 on towers. And if they look ahead as far as neutrals, they picked up every turtle that has been spawned up on the map. 3 of them going to the hands of the best player. And that's what I'm kind of been getting at, that it just feels like they are just worlds ahead, just worlds ahead.
He's taking a lot of damage. Shark able to use the flicker. ISO tries to flicker in. It's a big whip. In comes Joybaj. Big wild charge. But the Colt Alter helps seal the deal in response. Basic wants more. He's hungry. Gets the triple. That's rough for the side of BTK. It's Mobazane and Yato left on the field, and the Ohio Brothers don't even need the Lord right now. They're taking towers. Zane gonna get grabbed, possibly slam, but you're actually still under the tower. Takes a couple shots. Zane pulled in. 2 forces. This is bad. Zane goes down. The Ohio Brothers taking a huge lead at 6,000 at 10 minutes in.
And that was quite the take right there. That Shadow Stampede sending Zane to the Shadow Realm. Lord and more. They're looking to go ahead and take out BTK. T almost got dropped down there from that Magic Worship passive. But right now, we saw Basic come alive right there. A triple kill from him on the bot side. Fight Mr. Infamous, Mr. Hollywood, the man of much controversy, but the man of much action in the game, too, for the side of OhioBrothers. They're looking to put away BTK Trex before we can find the game 3, and I have to tell you, my heart's breaking right now from what I'm seeing on the screen, but I feel like it goes right back to what we were talking about. BTK not putting a lot of help, and ISO's he's 0-3 right now. Trex, the fight is about to unfold potentially. Put into play maybe a little bit of time to recollect and get their thoughts in order, and I have to tell you, Trex, I feel like that's what it came down to. The thoughts haven't been right on the side of BTK, doing a lot of thinking, but not coming up with the right conclusions. And it seems Ohio has made every right decision, every right call you can make, whether it's for the objective. Oh!
Yeah, T was in a bad spot there,
Almost.
is able to get away safely, but they still lose the tower. Lord now marching down the bottom side as the rest of TOB claim their presence on this map. They want to try to take a couple towers here. Best player is taking a little bit of damage. Lord onto Mobazane. The rest of TOB up on the top side, looking for this mid-tier 2. BTK able to defend there. Hopefully they only lose that tier 2, not inhibitor along with it. Mobazane holding the front line as usual. Shark looking for a hook. You can see him waiting for it. Snipe shot misses. Hoon looking for a pull. Not able to connect onto anybody with the Shadow Stampede. Yureshi onto the backside. Not scared of the towers. Not scared of the world as Basic pushes away onto this tower. Joybox, the big miss. Goes too deep and goes down. Big hook. Not able to connect onto Yato. He's got the road manipulation out. Basically finds T. 2 members of BTK down, and the OhioBrothers take the advantage once again.
That was a huge whiff, Trex. That went from bad to even worse. Because now Ohio can potentially close this out.
Yeah, best player very deep. Gonna get taunted up, take a couple tower shots to the face. Now Hoon and Basic also want to try to engage. They lost their wave of minions. They're gonna have to back off here, but still controlling the game with a 10,000 gold lead.
And this is a hard deficit to overcome from the side of BTK. They already didn't really have the threat for the late game besides maybe Yato on this Eve to kind of lead them in team fights. But when you're looking over at Ohio, they have Hoon with the frames to extend those team fights in their favors. You have Shark to be able to get those late game pickoffs, especially when you're up against Joybaj. They don't have the largest set potential. Obviously, Brock can get it done, but he's definitely a lot stronger in the pickoff. But it seems like Shark has been doing a lot better of a job. He's 12 assists out of the 13 kills for Ohio. So needless to say, he's been a critical component for all their plays. You can see they're setting up behind him right now to go for another. But when you're talking about that for the late game, it's extremely difficult for BTK. They're down, like you said, 10K gold. What an insurmountable lead here inside of BTK. They're only down to 2 high ground towers with the Lord obviously potentially going to the heavy favor of Ohio. It might be impossible for them to defend later on if they can't steal this. But it's like they're going to make the Hail Mary call potentially to contest.
Most definitely now, Lord going very, very low, and BTK not able to contest at all. We are seeing T up in the top side, trying to get a little bit of push, a little bit of macro game, but it may be too late for that. Shark with another hook. Down goes Joybaj, and down could go BTK. The OhioBrothers moving in, looking for the finish. Lord ain't even here yet. T up in the top side, trying to get a possible steal here, looking to make the play of his lifetime. But the OhioBrothers don't care. They think they can beat the base race. They think they can take the advantage. Tower about to go down very low. Basic able to get a couple shots off Lord. Still marching down. Hoon, Shark, best player looking to conceal play, trying to get the lock on. Best player punches through into the backside. Nice hook. Joybaj with the wild charge. T able to get away with his life. The Lord is still up. Mobazane hold the front side. Real manipulation still out for Shark. Finally able to get the hook with the bloody Haunted down. Goes Joybaj once again. The Lord does fall though, and BTK able to defend this. TOB backing off.
TOB is picking apart BTK. They're not going to let go here, Trex. Looks like they're going to push that high ground, and they have their offense on the crystal.
Yureshi is flickering in. Best player in TOB along with basically possibly look for something. Minions are low. Hook does not connect. A little bit too far to the right. Another wave is coming. Snipe shot misses. ISO has not been able to land those very much this game. It's becoming a bit of a problem. Could have been the possible defense. Wall does come out from Joybaj. Yureshi looking around the wall. Shark misses on the hook again. Another wave of minions coming soon as TOB hold down the front line, finally away from the side of BTK so they can possibly defend this. Joy Bosch with a nice wild charge, able to lock onto best player, but he's still up. Roses comes out, puncher into the backside, able to find ISO, and now T looking for best player, finds him, electrifying beats drop, but he's not able to find any more than that. Shark able to get the hook. Mobazane goes down basically with the speedy light wheel. Very well played. Yureshi gonna lock onto base. Immortality pops. Shark and Basic trying to get the finish, but not quite able to. Minions are here though. Base down to 50%. Crystal looking low. Can Joy Bosch defend it all? He can. That's it. A clean sweep. The Ohio brothers stay dominant and reign as gods in the NACT.